If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hey, this is John Preston, Marine Combat veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year, and I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
Get your free inventor's information. Call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
Keep on doing what you do, Rick. You're my favorite host. Favorite host.
This freedom is anything but free. What we have here depends on those who will fight for what they believe. When we stand together, there's nothing that we can achieve. This nation of people one in the name of liberty.
Well, good evening, America. Welcome to the show. This is Vic Robinson. You are listening to America Off the Rails. We're coming to you live right now from klrnradio.com, where we are live every Monday through Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern. So let's get down to business, shall we? Before we get the show kicked off, I want to say, well, it is hump day. So we're halfway through the work week. For those of you that don't work 7 days a week, kind of like I do, but anyway, I guess that's topic for another day. You guys don't tune in to listen to me whine. Well, maybe you do. I know some of you do. Anyway. All right, so we've got a lot to talk about tonight. So it's Comey Day Eve. So the liberals at this point are all tucked in their beds and nestled and snug, and they have dreams of dreams of Trump impeachment dancing in their heads, which isn't going to happen. There have actually, I'm trying to find his name and I'll find it on the break, but I heard audio while I was prepping the show. There is a Democratic senator, I believe he's from Texas, who has taken it, a Democratic senator from Texas. That just seems wrong somehow. But I think that's what I remember hearing. I don't remember his name, but I'll find him when we go on probably one of the first extended breaks of the show. And we'll bring him up again. But apparently there is a Democratic senator who is drafting articles of impeachment. And I remember it struck me as odd because he was standing at a press conference and he said he was drafting articles of impeachment to make sure that there were impeachment proceedings to impeach President Trump. It was like the male version of Maxine Waters. Dude said impeach 3 times in the same sentence and was just like, and if nobody else does it, I'm gonna do it. Well, if you're pinning your hopes on Comey, I want to remind you guys of something that I've talked about now for the last few weeks. And this is something that, we've brought up here multiple times, and the MSM has just been kind of like, we don't know what you're talking about, Rick. What are you referring to? when you say that there is no way that there could have been collusion. How could you possibly know that there is no way that there could have been collusion? And it's really simple, because it's something that everybody seems to be taking for granted, nobody's looking into, but we're going to give it to you tonight. And no, I'm not giving it to you in the opening monologue of the show, so stay tuned. But we have it, and we've talked about it, and those of you that listen on a regular basis, you know what I'm going to say. But for those of you that may not have heard about it yet, there was something that happened about a week and a half ago that blew the lid off of the entire collusion scandal, and yet nobody but us and a handful of other folks has even been talking about it. We'll open with that when we come back. And we also have Uncle Speedo with some audio from the Senate Weld today, which is very interesting, but we will cue that up when we get back as well. We've got to get the first break out of the way. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We've still got lots more show. We'll be back in just about 60 seconds or so. Don't you go away. Just about enough time to go freshen up a drink, make yourself comfortable. Whatever you got to do. Be right back.
These are the times that we'll try. They'll try me so.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
No, folks. There's no subliminal messaging in the bumpers that we use for this show at all. But it has kind of become a recurring theme for me, because I keep asking everyone that listens to the show or is fearful of America, there's going to come, or fearful for America, sorry. There's going to come a day that you're going to have to make a decision, and that decision is whether you're going to stand and fight for liberty and freedom, or are you going to turn and run away. So, I mean, honestly, for those of you that have listened for a while, the bumpers and the music have changed. Each time I change them, it's usually because I'm trying to convey a message. When we really got serious about the show and started doing it multiple days a week, in the beginning we were using a song that was put together by a group that had given me permission to run it, and we mixed in some extra Obama audio, but they had a lot of it of their own, and it actually outlined the feeling of the show. And then during the election cycle, when we realized that the Republican Party had lost their minds, look, I get it, Trump's president. I didn't vote for him, though. I'm still trying to give him a shot. I really am. Because he's president now. But I still don't think he was the best choice, and we're going to get to some of that tonight, too, as to why I feel that way. But the thing of it is, then we changed all the audio around for that, and we started using Sabotage, which interestingly enough was right around the same time that the Star Trek movie came out, and apparently that song was pretty prevalent in there, so everybody thought I ripped it off from that. And I'm like, nah, honestly, I hadn't even seen the movie yet. Which is odd for me, because I'm a serious Trekkie and a serious Star Wars junkie, but I wound up having to wait and watch it when it came out on pay-per-view. So I didn't even notice that it was really part of the movie. But it just fit the theme of the show at that time, and now the theme of the show has kind of changed again. The name of the show will pretty much always remain the same. It's America Off the Rails, because let's face it, it is. The jury is still out as to whether Trump will be the president to help put us back onto the rails, or whether he will be the president to finish pushing us the rest of the way off the rails. But we're pretty close to off now. Under the last 8 years of Obama, we have slid more and more towards socialism. We had a large jump towards socialism, especially during the last term of Bush 43, and then Obama kind of kept pushing that little wagon right down the hill, and now we have a president who, unfortunately, in a lot of ways, is still fairly socialist in a lot of things. Let's not forget, 60 Minutes interview, Donald Trump wants socialized medicine. Why do I bring that up? I'll tell you why I bring it up, because that was clue number one to me that we were going to have a problem. Because I kept telling everybody, this is what he says. Listen to his words. This is what he says. Let me see if we still have that audio available here. Hang on. Not sure if we still have it stored in the library. Nope, I don't think we do. Sorry, folks. Alright, so anyway, I've paraphrased it enough. You've heard it enough. It was a 60 Minutes interview. I believe it was September of 15-ish. And it was when he was first really teasing with the idea of running for president. And he was interviewed on 60 Minutes, and they asked him about healthcare. And he said, well, this is a very un-Republican thing for me to say, but I think everyone has to be covered. And the 60 Minutes anchor said, okay, well, that's great, but how are we going to pay for it? Well, the government's going to pay for it. But it'll be so much better. It'll be better health care, so we'll actually be saving money on the back end. All of that sounds really great. If you're into socialized medicine, which I'm not, and if you're into socialized programs, which I'm not. Now, you may ask, why are you bringing up stuff from 2015, Rick? We've talked about this a million times. Because it's now spreading to the rest of the Republican Party. The Republican Party, as of right now, is lining up electric slide style, and they're about to take a giant step to the left. You don't believe me? Look at something that Marco Rubio just tweeted the other day. We talked about it on the Jen and Rick show last night. Marco Rubio was tweeting about government-run, government-funded, FMLA, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Stuff we can't afford to pay for, but it's important. And he even went so far as to say that there should never be a time that a family that is thinking about expanding should be facing financial difficulty. Well, you know what? And look, this is Glass House Stone's moment, but I have to tell you from experience, if you are struggling financially, the last thing you need to do is bring a child into the world. There are ways to make sure that doesn't happen. And I'm not saying that I wish anything in my life were different, but I started having children a lot younger than I should have. So believe me when I tell you that I am speaking from experience when I say, if you are not financially ready to take care of a child, paid family leave is not going to help you with that. It's not. So we are deluding ourselves. We're deluding we have representatives of our government basically making this sound like another rainbow and lollipops moment when it should be nothing like that. You should not be considering having a family until such time as you are financially able to have a family. And I'm not saying everything has to be perfect, because if you wait until everything's perfect, it's never going to happen. But you should, if you are serious about having a family and want a serious shot at making the family work, you need to put some money in a savings account. You need to do several different things to make sure that your family is stable and be able to care for them. That's not trying. Nobody's trying to be mean. We're trying to be honest with you. Because most of us that say these things now didn't follow the advice that we're giving you now. And we're living examples of how not to do things. That's how life works. You know, there's that old quote that always said, if you're young and you're a conservative, then you're heartless. But if you're old and you're liberal, then you lack intelligence. I think that's a paraphrase. I don't remember the exact quote, but I know it was harsher than that. But it holds true, because we all do things that we shouldn't do when we're younger. And then we look back on it with experience and try to tell the next generation, hey, don't do that. That's not a good idea. Oh, you're old. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, well, you're going to find out the hard way, just like I did. And that's what a lot of conservatism comes from. It's us looking at the things that we did when we were younger, realizing the missteps that we've made, and trying to make sure that future generations don't have the same problem. Now, that can be done in a family planning stage, that can be done financially, or it can be done by basically talking about the things that we usually talk about here, which are the Constitution. Because the driving point and force of this country is the Constitution. Nobody wants to think about that anymore, because there are other things that are more fun and more sexy to do now, like executive orders and overreach and all of this craziness. But that's where we are today. We are living in a world where we are watching the Republican Party move to the left and start advocating for more and more and more social programs. And that's where we are. Now, my question is, how do we get back from the brink? Because that's what we thought Donald Trump was going to do, was bring us back from the brink. Except it seems like he's pushing us closer to the brink. Now, is it him or is it Congress? We'll talk about that a little bit more when we get back.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 687.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
Hey, this is John Preston, Marine combat veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have I've battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year. And I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
All right, folks. Well, welcome back. So first things first, I told you during one of the longer breaks that I was going to look up the name of the Texas Democratic representative. Rep Al Green was the representative in question that plans on starting the process to impeach Trump. And he says if no one else does it, he definitely will. Now, I want to tie this back together to the other thing, because what he's trying to impeach him for is obstruction of justice. But there's a problem, because this all hinges on Russian collusion. So, and remember, we talked about this before, but we're going to talk about it again now. So, there was a story that broke about 2 weeks ago in regards to Jared Kushner, who basically in December, he was reaching out to the Russians to try to set up some sort of a back channel deal where they could have communications and talks, which is not uncommon. Remember, Obama did the same thing with the Iranians in regards to the nuclear deal. Back channel communications are common. They don't usually get talked about in the press much, but they're common. We've played audio of a former chief of staff that has actually been on the show before, George Sununu, who roasted I believe it was a CNN anchor the other day, and basically told them the same thing. These things happen all the time. They are common practice. Everybody's making a big deal over nothing. But there's part of this that just went completely over the media's head, because they started talking about the fact that Jared Kushner was trying to set up communications with the Russians in December, and the media was like... And we're over here going, wait, December? You guys have been saying they've been colluding with them, and you have some sort of proof that they've been colluding with them since, like, June. So how have they been colluding with each other if they didn't even have the ability to communicate with one another yet in a clandestine manner? Because why would Jared Kushner be needing to set up a back channel with the Russians if they were working with the Trump administration? Now, I also want to remind you of something else, because while we're chasing shadows in the Trump administration about whether or not they were involved in this Russian attempt to hijack an election, and I'm sorry, that to me is a completely different thing. Because let's be honest for just a second. We've talked about this before too. Barack Obama pulled America back from the world stage, which gave Russia all the signals they need to start doing some crazy things. Crimea, anybody remember that? So maybe they did try to do something with our election, but does that mean that President Trump was involved in it? Does that mean that he was aware of it? If anyone should have been aware of it, shouldn't it have been the sitting president? If we are so sure that the Russians somehow did something to our election, how is that Donald Trump's fault when Barack Obama is the one standing up on the world stage telling everybody that our election process is infallible and unhackable? When apparently we already know that's not true. So whose fault is it? Who is to blame? The person that's running for the office, or the person that currently holds the office when a catastrophe like this happens? Let's say, for the sake of argument, that it did happen. That the Russians decided that we were weak because we have been portraying ourselves as weak for the last 8 years. Let's say that we sent them a signal that we're backing off as a superpower, so now it's their time to step up and start trying to influence the world in their image, which is what we've told everyone was going to happen. Politics and nature are very similar. Nature abhors a vacuum, so does politics. When America started pulling out, Russia stepped up. So Russia started trying to influence elections all over the world, just like America used to do. But the difference is, Russia was trying to influence them to destabilize them. Not to bring democracy, not to make things better for everybody, to destabilize them. If that was their intent, it's worked. But I ask you again, who is responsible for this? Is it Donald Trump, who was the person that was running for the election, or is it the person that was holding the office at the time these egregious things may or may not have occurred? We still don't have proof. I know that. But that's what we need. We need proof, and we need a timeline so we know who to hold accountable. If it's Trump, trust me, I will not go easy on him. Just because he's my president right now doesn't mean I won't call him out when he screws up. I did it with Bush 43. I did it with Obama. I'm going to do it as long as I have breath in my lungs and access to a microphone, because that's what I do. But that's my point. If any of this is true, who is it that is responsible for it? Because it can't be the Trump camp, because apparently they didn't even have the ability to communicate with Russia yet. Not directly. Anyway, we're at the bottom of the hour. We got to take a break. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We'll be back in about 4 minutes.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate Formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can at 516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
All right, folks, so we're back. So as promised, I have some audio of, well, as JD used to call him, Uncle Speedo. I personally call him Jim Ignatowski from Taxi because that's who he reminds me of every time he opens his mouth. I was going to let some of this play down a little bit, but we ran into a technical issue and I realized part of the commercial wasn't playing, so I had to focus on that. So, well, this actually kind of still goes right along with what we've been talking about for the rest of the show. So we're going to let a couple minutes of this audio play.
Mr. President, I am strongly supportive of sanctions against Russia contained in the bill that is scheduled to come up this afternoon. Russia, as I think we all know, actively worked to influence our 2016 presidential election and continues to try and destabilize democracies around the world, including our own, and that is unacceptable. At the same time, I have serious concerns about the sanctions on Iran contained in this bill. As we have heard from former Obama administration officials, including Secretary Kerry and Ambassador Sherman, these measures could undermine the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the very important nuclear agreement signed in 2015 between the United States, our P5 plus partners, and Iran.
All right, so enough of that. Hey, Louis, you remember where I parked my taxi? All right, so I don't do a good Jim Ignatowski. Anyway, for those of you who aren't sure who I'm talking about, first of all, you're young. Second of all, use Google. It'll work, I promise. All right, so here's the thing, and it goes along with everything that we've been talking about so far. So he's all for the Russian sanctions because of the fact that they have been meddling in elections, which, again, if they have been, my question is, because we're pretty sure they have been, we know they did in a couple of different elections, so probably pretty good idea that they did it here too. But my question is, when you have a sitting president who was the guy at the reins when this happened, why are we not looking at him? Now, as the title of the show depicts or talks about, we're at the, well, this is Comey Day Eve. The liberals have even coined the term. It's Comey Day. Comey's going to come in and he's going to testify and he's going to save America from the evil Mr. Trump. He's going to save us all. He's going to make the mean man go away. Now, I'm having some fun at liberal expense, but I want you to think about something for a second. The person that they think is going to save democracy is the same person that asked Jeff Sessions to make sure that he was never alone in a room with Donald Trump ever again. What's the matter? You have a little tinkle going down your leg when you were in there with him? I mean, you're the director of the FBI, for God's sake. And you're afraid of the president? What is the matter with you? Anyway. But again, we've all seen the advanced testimony. We've heard what's been coming out now for months. This is not going to have the smoking gun that the Democrats are looking for. It's not going to happen. But again, even if it does, even if we can prove that there was some form of collusion or involvement with the Russians, was it the Trump campaign that was involved with the Russians? Or was it the current president that was involved with the Russians? Because let's not forget, the Obamas and the Clintons don't like each other. You can't say that about the Trumps and the Clintons. That was one of the reasons why I was reticent about him becoming the nominee in the first place. They have been lifelong friends. Granted, he's a little older than she is, but they've known each other for a very, very long time. Chelsea and his daughter are friends. They have been for forever. And that was concerning to me. But the same is not true of the Obamas and the Clintons. Let's not forget that Bill Clinton was caught in a quip a few years ago that said, 20 years ago, that boy'd be getting my coffee. But somehow the Republicans are the racist ones. So let's really take a look. Let's find an honest answer. Let's stop trying to pin it on the president that we don't like. Because there were plenty of things that Barack Obama did wrong. And all I want is the truth. If Russia was involved in destabilizing our election, I want to know how they did it. I want to know who helped them. And I want to know who was involved so that we can fix it and make sure that it doesn't happen again, since we are starting to reassert ourselves as a superpower back on the world stage where we belong. And that's what I want from Comey Day. Now, on to the Bernie audio that we just played for the second half, where he's, oh, please don't sanction the Iranians. It's going to hurt what we've just built through this nuclear deal. First of all, we got our asses handed to us in that nuclear deal. And we know it, and they know it. Second of all, I don't care, because their people were dancing in the streets chanting death to America after ISIS attacked them. So yes, sanction them. I don't care. I mean, look, I'm really not trying to be evil here. But the simple fact of the matter is, I'm tired of people dancing in the street and chanting death to America, when we're the ones that are trying to go around the world and make everybody's life better. It's what we've always done. It's what we always try to do. The problem is these people don't want their lives to be better. They want the world bathed in blood. We talked about this yesterday. I'm not going to go into it again because I had complaints about the show being boring because I stuck to one topic for the whole show. But, you know, it is what it is. All right, so we're going to take a break. We've got to get another one out of the way. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We'll be back in about 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
Artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes. An album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year, and I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate Formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Every day.
Oh, looky, we has fan mail from Twitter. Okay, not really, but we're going to read it anyway. So, Paul from Twitter writes, you do realize that you don't have to be a liberal, quote-unquote, to support our embarrassment of our president. I'm GOP, and Trump is a nightmare. No, I do understand that we don't have to be liberal to not support our embarrassment of our president, but at this point, not supporting our president is like rooting for the Titanic to hit the iceberg. So pick a side. He's been elected, not selected. I know they like to use that one in 2000. What was that? 2004? No, what was it? It was 2000. Selected, not elected. Selected, not elected. No, it's not that simple, Paul. Because he's president now. I was just as embarrassed by Obama, but I still tried to support him. Yeah, I called him out a lot because I didn't agree with 99.997% of the things that he did. But I still tried to support him as my president until I saw him riding around on a girl's bike with mom jeans. Until I saw him bowing to everybody around the globe, which we don't do. Until I saw him make bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. So yes, Paul, I know there are plenty of GOP that don't support our president. Stop rooting for the iceberg to hit the Titanic, because that's exactly what you're doing right now. All right, so on to what we were talking about before I took a second to answer someone on Twitter. And Paul, just in case you're not listening, I'll actually reply to you on Twitter in a moment, but some of us are actually working right now. So I hope you're listening, and I hope you got your response. If not, I will touch base with you later. Now, so this is where we are. And this is my point. If the Russians did do what a lot of us think the Russians did, which is find a way to manipulate our election, I want to know who did it. And I want to know why. And I want to know who helped them. Because this is bad. Now, we brought it on ourselves. We've been talking about this now for going on 9 years. We have brought this on ourselves. Because we decided we didn't want to be a superpower anymore. The job was hard. It sucked. It was expensive. Nobody liked us. We just wanted to be liked. We wanted to be brought into a room and given a group hug and be like, oh yeah, everybody loves America again because you're not being the big bully on the block anymore. Oh crap. Now Russia and ISIS are being the big bully on the block. America, where did you go? You can't have it both ways, world. Neither can we. The simple fact of the matter is, when we stopped being the influential force in this planet, and on this planet, and in these countries, Russia picked up our slack. And I knew it was going to happen. I said it years ago. I said it before Sarah Palin said it. Remember the audio that we used to play over and over and over again, where it was Russia wants their foreign policy back, and then it's talking about Romney and all the things that they could do, and then Sarah Palin with a quip about Crimea and all these things. We edited all that together because those were the same things that I was saying before they even ever said them. And it became a recurring audio piece after Russia did exactly what I said and what they said was going to happen. Because when we took a step back, they took a step forward. And now we're trying to pick up the pieces. And now we're concerned because Russia has been involved in our election. Let's not forget, one President Barack Obama was heavy-handed when it came to an Israeli election that happened while he was president. So it isn't as if we have not done these things before. The problem is we don't want them done to us. And I understand that. Because most of the time, when we get involved in a country, it's for the betterment of the country, not to destabilize it. But I want you to take a look around at everything that is going on today, at the media barrage, at the bombastic attacks, and you tell me that we are not a destabilized nation. You tell me that Russia did not accomplish what they wanted to accomplish by doing what they did, because they did. They destabilized our entire country. And I tell you who I blame, and it's not the Trump administration. I blame the sitting president at the time that it was happening. That was Barack Hussein Obama. And I think he knew about it. I think that's why he got out in front of it and tried to calm the American people down and said, oh, no. All this stuff that this lunatic is saying isn't even possible. Our elections are safe. They're secure. Look, nobody can do this to us. Well, guess what? They did it to us. Now we're having to pick up the mess. All right, we got to take another break. We will be right back here in just about 2 minutes because I actually ran long on the other break. So we're going to shorten this one. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is John Preston, Marine Combat Veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year, and I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives. Hey, this is John Preston, Marine Combat Veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 687.
All right, folks, we are back. We are almost out of time for the show, and I realized I did a very bad thing as someone who is on several outlets. I usually try to make sure I mention them in the beginning of the show. Lately, I haven't been doing it until the end of the show, so I want to apologize. Want to give everybody a quick rundown of when and where you can find the show. KLRNradio.com. Wow, got tongue-tied there for a second. Where we are live every Sunday through Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern. The show is also available on AMFM247.com every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We're available on Red Nation Rising Radio, the Liberty Channel, 6 a.m. Eastern every Monday through Friday, and available on the Lanterns Radio Network as well. That is 8 a.m. Eastern every Monday through Friday. That's right, folks. There are days when this show can be heard 4 or 5 times a day. Yes, be afraid. Be very afraid. All right, we are also available on crntalk.com every Saturday and Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's 9 Central, 7 Pacific. Now, through that network, that actually happens to be one of our larger networks right now. The show is available through 11 million homes through cable providers. Also available in select markets on terrestrial stations. Coming soon. We're working on that now. Now, if you are and you do like what you hear and you want to help support America Off the Rails, we are currently seeking sponsorships through CRN Talk. They are actually trying to get us syndicated into several markets. They're allowing us to sell the ad space into those markets first to see if we can supply enough demand to actually go into those markets. So if you have a business and you want to support conservative talk grassroots radio, make sure you shoot me an email, rick@klrnradio.com. You can also shoot an email to station manager Ann at klrnradio.com. We will work on getting something situated to get you in touch with the folks at CRN. Also, probably I would be on the conference call as well, so that way we can talk things out. Now, also, the show is available on iHeartRadio. I am actually a syndicated podcaster through there. We're also available on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, FM Player, Google Play Music, Blueberry, Pocket Cast, and I know there are a few more. One of these days, I'm going to write them all out and record something to play during a commercial break so I don't keep having to say things that I can't remember. But just want to say, whether you're listening live, whether you're listening through one of those syndicated rebroadcasts, or whether you're listening Memorex through one of the podcast sites, the fact that you listen at all makes me eternally grateful. We actually are starting to hit record numbers again. We had slouched for a while. Part of that was my fault. I have been sick off and on since January, so I have not been promoting the way that I should. We're getting back to doing that now. One of our most recent episodes now in podcast form has already been listened to over 1,000 times and climbing again. So thank you for all of you that are listening. We really, really do appreciate it. And that's going to just about do it for this particular episode. Now, coming up tomorrow, on right here on KLRNradio.com, it was kind of a slow night for us tonight. We didn't have the leadoff show, Conservative Curmudgeon, tonight, because he's back to 10-hour work days. That's right, we all do this in our spare time because we love it. Eventually, we want to make it a career, but it's not there yet, so we have to do other things to pay the bills so that we can keep doing this for you because we want to. And then, of course, we had Jess's POV, which I think picked up the slack and ran a very long show tonight because, unfortunately, we didn't have the right side tonight either. So I guess Jess and I were the only ones that were live. Now, tomorrow night, we'll have a fairly full night for you again. We have the Jess's POV, then we have the Jen and Rick show. Yeah, the other one that I'm in that suddenly I couldn't remember the name of. And then, of course, America Off the Rails to round it out. And then, of course, Friday night, we will have the Robinson and Wright show. Now, that is a very special show. I have worked with this person before, off and on for several years. I have never, up until now, been able to get her to come onto one of my shows. She's been on everybody else's show but mine. But Friday night, we have Politibunny. I'm going to try to keep her for the whole hour with Dan and I. That's right. I'm going to get her in the studio. I'm going to lock the door. I'm not going to let her leave because she has been putting me off for years. Now, actually, it's to basically announce the fact that she's coming back to radio. She's coming back home to KLRNradio.com, and she's going to start doing a weekly broadcast with us again, starting on Wednesday the 28th. But we're going to kick it off by bringing her on to Robinson and Wright. We're going to talk, we're going to chat, we're going to have fun, we're going to hang out, so I encourage you to tune in for that one. It should be a blast. Politibunny is a rock star when it comes to talk radio, and she always has been. I'm not sure how she does it, but she does, and she's great at it, and I'm glad she's coming home. It almost feels like a family homecoming, because that's I don't know. I'm gonna get all weepy over here, so I'm gonna stop. But anyway, we are officially out of time. I want to again thank everybody for taking the time to tune in. This is America Off the Rails. I'll be live with you again before you know it. Until then, take care, God bless, and remember, we're all still Americans first. Let's stop with the hate. Good night.